If you've ever taken your kids bowling, the first time you take them bowling, you put up the guardrails. Why do you put up the guardrails? So they're not just throwing gutter balls all the time and failing over and over. Now, failure is good for kids, but you don't want them to have extensive failure to where that's all they think they can do. So you start by putting the guardrails up so they can bounce and they can feel that feeling of what it feels like to hit the pins. So you put the guardrails up and eventually they start figuring out how not to hit the guardrails, and eventually they throw a couple straight down the middle and they hit the pin, right? And eventually, once you see that they are more increasingly throwing them down the middle, then you start moving the guardrails away and say, look, they're starting to have self-regulation. They're starting to learn how to win at this game. The same is true for boundaries in your kid's life. You put boundaries in so that they can succeed, and eventually you do not need those boundaries anymore. The same thing with like your pantry at our house. You can't just go into pantry and eat whatever you want to. You have to ask permission to go into pantry. We have boundaries of you can't go in there unless you talk to us first. Plus, at the same time, we don't have poison in our pantry. We don't put poison in our pantry because giving kids unrestricted access to device and the internet is the same as having no boundaries in your pantry and there's poison in there and you hope they're gonna go in there and not choose the poison.